All right. Okay, guys, welcome to the 4th Pirate Skills event and like the 21st Growth Meetup in Cologne. Today, all about event marketing. Thank you all for coming, guys. Event marketing, I'm pretty sure you're asking yourself, like, what the hell is it about getting customers with events? How do I promote my events? How do I organize events? It's a mix of all of those 3 topics today. So, I'm Ben, as you know. I'm a founder since 2008 while I was studying psychology, and I just couldn't stop since then. I'm host of this Pirate Skills thing that is now in March 2 years old. It will be 2 years old. And this is the best thing I started in 2016. Like by far. This had the biggest impact, had the most value to me. And it was just beat by my little 2 girls. And I wish I could say like you guys were the most important thing, but you guys have to compete with those, and it's just not happening. So the little one is just 12 weeks old, and I just wanted to show her one time at least, and my wife's gonna hate me for this. All right. So today we got some supporters I would like to mention. Startplatz is of course the place you're in here. Who's here for the first time? Yeah, always like some people. This is a co-working space. You can rent a desk, come here with your team. They have these amazing event spaces you can organize. If you need a place and be surrounded by other crazy folks, yeah, like us who try to change stuff and to do something on their own feet, this is the right place to come to. And we got another drink sponsor, like Chris brought from Hits Black Management. Got us some Fritz Coke. Chris, where are you? Thank you guys for providing some Coke, man. That Fritz Cola stuff is all for free. Please leave $1.50 for the beer. And if you want to get in touch and get support in event marketing, or if you're an artist and want to have somebody who is supporting you in that journey, contact Hits Black Management. Yeah, Chris is an amazing guy. He's going to be around afterwards. So, and Manoa is over there. Say hello, Manoa. Thank you very much for taking pictures today. Manoa is doing business photography, and he has already photographed some of the events already, and I'm amazed by the quality. I tried to shoot some videos for a video course in the meanwhile. I put some images of his in, and there was a really serious TV guy. He was like, dude, you can't put those pictures together with that kind of video. He was like, the quality difference was so great. So thanks to Manoa. He also took some pictures of the staff here from Startplatz, some really amazing ones. Can only heartily recommend him. So, what are we up to today? Today, we want to talk in 3 parts. Yeah, we want to talk with Victoria from Startplatz about how to organize your own conference. So this is the part where we talk about if you are a low budget, small conference, how do you get set up? What aspects to keep in mind, like a checkbox and best practices of her experience here at Startplatz. Then the second one I'm really looking forward to also is from Tim Betzin from Rausgegangen. Who of you guys know Rausgegangen here in Cologne? Yeah. I know those guys when they were just coding here on the Bubble app, which never went anywhere, and then they started this weird newsletter where they just spammed people every morning around 6 o'clock what good events are going to happen today. And that just blew up, and now they are rausgegangen. They do awesome events, and he's going to talk about... spam every morning. Every morning. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, it's one of the few emails that I love to get daily. And he's going to talk about secret events and festivals, which for me is very important to see how much love and care you can put into every event and make it really feel special and give the audience a surprise as well. Yeah. So and then I'm going to have a really brief part in where I'm going to share the template that Snea is over there. And I used to build this meetup up, and all the lessons we learned from those almost 2 years. And the checklist we use every month for every week for you to just download as a Google Doc. And then if we have time, we have some Q&A. I would also, in the meanwhile, hear from you guys. I know there are lots of event people here. Yeah, Pedram is over here. Who else is in events? Lots of you guys. Amazing. Yeah. So we would really like your input as well. Share your experience. Just call bullshit if somebody here in front tells something that you do not agree with. We can only learn when we challenge each other. Okay? So feel free to hit in and go with it. So I would love for you guys to use the hashtag Pirate Skills today. If you share the fucking stream now, get your phones out, share it. Use the hashtag Pirate Skills. It helps us to find each other again later. Yeah, take some pictures. I would love to see the event from different aspects, especially through the eyes of the attendees. So that being said, one of our checklist points is always this here. This is the question list we put out in the Facebook group. A Facebook group is a great way to pull information from your community. Yeah, let me read some out to you. So we usually initiate the list with 2 or 3 ideas, and the rest comes from the Facebook group itself. The most asked question was, what are the biggest organic marketing channels for an event? Yeah, and all of what I'm going to talk about with the meetups is going to be completely organic. What are the most relevant platforms? How do I organize my event marketing? What are the best paid marketing channels? Funnel strategies for offline events? What are the best tools for event marketing? Yeah, this is how you can get a really good feeling of what people want to know about at your event. We try to do this every time. And this really helps us to get the content right. Yeah. Would you like to add some of the questions to this list that you definitely want to get answered today? Anybody? Just throw them at me when you think of them. Yeah. Okay. So who has organized an event before? Almost everybody. Amazing. So we can go into details, speakers. Yeah. This is a very competent room. Go deep and share the nitty-gritty part as well, not just the strategic stuff. Guys, come in if you would like to join us. No? We'll take the back entrance. Okay, we got the questions from the Facebook group, but what I always ask is, how does this fit into the growth marketing mindset? Yeah, how does this help users get acquired, users to get activated, to stay longer, to refer new people, and to make revenue? Yeah, because when I'm talking about events, it has the purpose of serving a project, a business. It is a marketing channel to me. It is the most quality building marketing channel that I have found. Events really suck at scale. Yeah, at scaling them up, then you would have to become this huge event company like the Startup Weekend, which gets kind of heartless. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. But a marketing event is, to me, the place where you can build trust and relationships with B2B customers like no one else. Of course, you can just have a party with customers at the end of the funnel. But here, in this segment, getting people to take action. There. Getting people to take action and keeping them around for many times. Who has been here 3 times or more? Yeah, 5 times or more. You see, those guys, they keep on coming back, supporting you. There were 4 or 5 people who supported me just in front of the event. I would like you guys to thank Pedram, Maxime, and Snea, and Chris, and people like Alex who are always here. Could you guys, 5 guys, please stand up and get that round of applause? Every month they come here, they support me, and I think one of the checklist points on Victoria's list is do people a favor. Yeah, you get it back. you could ask pretty much anything of me right now, yeah, and I would just do it. So I think marketing events are really great at acquiring and at activating and keeping people. It's pretty bad at making money, really bad. Yeah. If you try to make money with events, think about your business plan again. Yeah. Even the Pirate Summit guys, they have a hard time like breaking even every time, and it's absolutely a fantastic event with high-end tickets. Yeah. Using an event to acquire new customers is interesting because it gives you something to talk about that is current and meaningful to people on social media. Yeah, you can, if you have an event that is like every month or every quarter, there's always a story you can try to tell and keep telling and building up to the event and have this big live event with a stream, for example. And then you can build afterwards. You can go more on the relationship building part of things. So I think we placed event marketing somewhere on the Pirate Metrics treasure map. So let's hear from our first speaker today, Victoria Blechmann. She's been, come here, you can come up here. How long have I known you now? Like 3-4 years?
More than 4 years, I guess.
Yeah, with children, without children. Our daughters are like that, pretty much. Yeah, we have birthday parties in the same location.
Exactly.
Event marketing.
Yeah, that's kind of friendship. Not McDonald's.
My daughter is already planning her birthday like in February, and she's just 2.5. Yeah, so get
she
prepared.
Watches through live stream, so she knows how to market.
I hope she is right now. She's with Oma and Opa. Where's your girl?
At home.
All right. So, Victoria, you have always been involved with the Startplatz event business, yeah? How did that happen?
Coincidentally, I was working as a product manager at Simfy. It was a music streaming service before Spotify came to the market in Germany. And then we got a new investor, and then we all got fired from one day to another. So I was looking for a new job. A guy I knew from university worked here as a student and said that his colleague is going on maternity leave, so they're looking for someone.
Right.
I applied and got the job, and since then I'm organizing all events at Startplatz. That was 4.5 years ago.
But you also have events now outside of Startplatz, right?
Yeah.
Like Art Attack.
Yeah. I'm doing an art festival. I had the honor to be part of the Pirate Summit this year to organize the pitch competition. And I organized the Interactive Festival, which took place with the CO Pop Convention Festival. So there were a lot of interesting events this year. And I hope I can share some thoughts with you today.
I'm looking forward to learn from you.
Thank you.
All right.
So it's kind of new to me to stand here, because usually when I'm at an event, I'm either listening or I'm the moderator. I'm never the speaker, so this is very crazy right now. I hope I won't bore you too much, because you will see my thoughts. I was asked to share my experience about organizing events, and I just sat there and thought, okay, I will just write down what I do every day, and maybe some of these points will help you somehow. But as Ben said, this is a thing where I need your support and your ideas maybe as well. So what I say is not the recipe to organize a conference, by far, definitely not. I was asked how to organize a conference, and my answer is usually well, just do it. And then you get these beautiful, okay, this is maybe not this one, you have confetti, you have lasers, beautiful conferences, but what if you have a budget of €0, which is in my case usually? You can do this, but if nothing comes out, maybe you should have a plan, which is different. And this is kind of the agenda for today. So where should you start? Definitely with the topic. Then you should choose a date, a location, the speakers, sponsors, hopefully. You should think about food and drinks, and maybe about gadgets, gimmicks, name tags, all the stuff you need to have a beautiful conference. And when we start with the topic, what should it be? Well, usually should be something you're really into and you know a lot of stuff about it, but if not, which was in my case when I organized the art festival, I never did that before, but I knew a lot of people from this scene. So I knew artists, I knew people who are doing tech stuff, and there should be people who are interested in this topic. So I think it's not the point to say, well, this is a buzzword, this is very, very interesting, this topic, but I don't know anything about it, and I don't know people who are working with it, but I will do a conference about it. I think this is not the best way. You could try, of course. But I think these 3 points, maybe they're banal, but they should be given if you choose a topic. If you have the topic, you should start with the date. And the date here at Startplatz is something very, very difficult because there are a lot of events happening every day in Cologne or around Cologne, especially in the startup scene. So you should definitely go through all the calendars and watch out for trade fairs and concurrent events. So there shouldn't be too many of them. You should think about how many days your event should go. Either 1 day, 2 days, I don't know, a weekend or during the week. There are a lot of different aspects, and you really should maybe consider to talk to someone who already did an event in this sphere to know how to do it, when to do it. Yes, Ben.
I'm thinking about, like, for the 2-year anniversary to do like a 2-day event or a whole day event. How much harder is a 2-day event than a whole day event? Exponentially, like 2 kids versus 1 kid, or
no? I just have one, so I don't know. But I think the real problem with 2-day events is that usually on the second day there's maybe half of the audience there, because they all go party on the after party from the first day, and then they don't show up on the second one. This is maybe difficult because there are speakers who are a little pissed if no one's sitting in the crowd, and then you have to deal with it. But on the other hand, with my art festival, for example, this was shitty, I think, because I did it just for one evening, and this was just so much stuff to do, to put all the installations there. It was art and tech, so there was sound installations, light installations, stuff like that. So you bring all the stuff there for 6 hours, and then you bring them all out, and that was it. So this was sad. They could have stayed there for 2 days, maybe.
Okay.
I think it depends on how much effort you have for this 1 day. I don't know, maybe the Pirate Summit lady over there can talk about the second day of an event.
How is it on the second day?
Well, it's usually a bit less crowded than on the first day, which is like because of the party, and most of the events happen on the first day, which I think most interesting for many people of the audience. But on the second day, when you have like a pitch competition or something like that, the winners are always announced on the second day, so it's pretty sad when there's no one there. But it's usually, no matter how cool your events on the second day are, there are less people there.
So the advice I'm hearing from both of you, Ben, in March, just do a 1-day event.
Then you have 1 day with a full audience there.
Okay.
On the other hand, some people say, well, I won't go to Cologne from I don't know where just for 1 day. But if it's 2 days, I would come. So there, I don't know. I think there is not the way
And
to
on
do
which
it.
day of the week? 1-day event. Which day of the week should I do? For this kind of crowd. Maybe we should ask them.
Ask the crowd.
Yeah.
Ask the crowd, yeah. But I ask you and then I say what I thought. So, who's for Monday? No one. Tuesday?
Wednesday?
Tim would come on Tuesday. Wednesday?
All day, full day growth marketing event. Wednesday?
Thursday?
Thursday?
Okay, Friday?
Friday?
Oh, this is interesting.
Saturday?
Okay.
Seriously?
Really?
Seriously? Sunday?
Sunday?
No shit.
Okay, this is completely
I
different
like you
from
guys.
what I thought.
I like you a lot.
Analytics.
Super interesting. Okay. Sorry
Okay,
that I interrupted.
no worries. I would have thought that like artsy stuff you can do, of course, in the evening, and on the weekend stuff like conferences you shouldn't do on a weekend. This is what I learned at Startplatz, where we did stuff on the weekends. No one came. No one. there were like 3 people interested maybe. And the best days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is my experience, but as you see,
as well. That is my experience as well. Tuesday,
these
Wednesday,
people,
Thursday.
if you want to do a conference only for these people, you should do it on a Sunday, maybe. With a brunch, maybe a brunch.
I think it depends what it is. Like, if you have like a hackathon, a lot of people will stay on the second day as well.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
even 3 days. But if it's only like talks and like there is no interaction, then you might not want to come to the next day. Maybe it's...
I think it definitely depends on the agenda. If you have something crazy on the second day, people would maybe stay. Yeah, no holidays around. This is something very interesting because we thought, the startup people, they don't care about holidays. Most of them don't have children actually, so doesn't matter, but still it does matter. So if the event is during the holidays, no matter which holidays, it's very difficult to get a big crowd. This is the same slide. Okay. The location. Well, I was here at Startplatz and I did all the events, of course, here because we have no additional costs, so to say. But if you're looking for a location outside of your office, people from the startup scene especially tend to book something super fancy, like industrial design stuff with lights and I don't know what. This is cool, definitely, but if you have a budget of €0, it doesn't have to be too fancy. You can make a room fancy by maybe some furniture or some decoration or something like that. It also, in my case, always was the smaller the better because it looks fuller. So even if there are only 15 people there, it looks like, oh, the room was full. It should be maybe flexible in size. This is something like, this is super cool if you find something like that because you plan a conference for, I don't know, 300 people and you would have the room for them, but if you see that the ticket sells not too well, you can make it smaller. This is something
room here
super cool.
is perfect. Yeah, if you want to go like up to 80 to 100 people. Over there, that room is 20 people. Good. The front of the room is like 60 people, and together it's 80, or if you crunch it, it's 100 people.
Yeah, so you can book the whole, or you can put the wall inside. This is something quite nice. Also, something very important, it's nice if you don't have to take their catering because it's usually super expensive. If you find someone who says bring your own food, bring your own drinks, this is very, very cool. There should be enough furniture. We had one event where we didn't have enough chairs. That sucked a lot. And we had to borrow them and pay for them. This was just shitty. So, yeah. There should be enough furniture for everyone. There should be some light and sound tech, of course, so you don't have to bring it. And there should be good accessibility and maybe even parking lots, because if people come to your event and they don't know where it is and it's somewhere and they don't find the way, they won't be too happy when they arrive. So it doesn't matter which parking lot, it could be something like that as well, maybe if you can park like that. This guy is a pro, as you can see. But you should definitely think about that. This is a very cool thing that we have the garage here at Startplatz. The speakers. I don't know how that happened, but when I try to organize a conference, I'm just asking the speakers I would like to have there. And most of them come. So, but where to look for them? This is the question. Of course, your own network. This is cool if you have a big network. Then you just take your friends and friends of friends. My approach was also to look at different conferences which were held in the same topic, to look who spoke there and ask these people, of course. And I read articles about the topic I was organizing conferences to, because my conferences I organized at Startplatz were about fintech, big data, e-health, Internet of Things, all topics I'm not very much into. So I had to read about them, of course, before I organized them, because I also had to moderate them. It's quite good if you know what you're talking about. And when you look for articles, you sometimes also have the names of the people who wrote the article, which are sometimes a good moderator for the panels, if you have a panel in your conference. This is quite nice to have journalists who are really into the topic, not like me. How to choose them? the thing is, there are a lot of people organizing conference who think, okay, I get the CEO of a big company and he will be cool. He will be cool on stage because he's the CEO. Usually it's not the case because somehow they are not very good in rhetorical aspects. So they just stand there and they just talk and you cannot listen to them. And
it's so bad. Well, that was my biggest problem here with this meetup.
See?
And didn't mean you.
Thank you. We'll talk about that later. So if you find videos of these people speaking, this is super cool because you can see how they act on stage, how they move, how they talk, how they try to bring the information to the crowd. Of course, you should listen maybe to recommendations from others of people who would recommend something good to you, because there are always some consultants who know a super cool guy from somewhere, from another consulting company, and he's such a good speaker, and then you invite him, and then it's again not cool. Not only men. Today, usually it should be normal to have not only men. In my experience, it's still very difficult to find enough women for a conference as speakers. The problems I had were, even if I contacted women from a company I wanted to have at my conference, some of them said, well, my colleague Mr. blah 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 would do it better, so he does it. This is super crazy. I never understand this, and I don't know how to convince them, but usually that was the case. Or especially with the topics I had, like fintech, big data, and so on, there are not too many women active in these topics so far. So there are some, but usually they're at every conference then, and they won't go to your conference where they don't get paid.
You look at the website Speaker.org.
Exactly. There are very good websites now, and there are like, tell it again.
What is it?
Speaker?
Speaker.org.
Speaker.org.
Speakerin.org. Where you can find women for different topics. And there are a lot of websites now who provide information about ladies who are very good in different topics. But this is really important because every time when I organized a conference and there were only men on stage, I got a shitstorm afterwards. How I, as a woman, organized a conference only with men. How to invite them? This is something I got asked a lot of times, but you just look for their email address and then you write an email, and you shouldn't be shy. That's it. Just ask them. Just contact them through LinkedIn, through Xing maybe. But usually, especially on startup websites, you have a kind of email address there. Just write them, call them. I don't know. Just ask. The agenda. You should do an introduction, so don't start with the guy, the first speaker. Maybe you should welcome the people. And something which is maybe embarrassing for some kind of people, but was very helpful at my conferences here, we did an introduction round of the crowd. So everyone had to say who he is or she, what he or she does, and 3 hashtags. It sounds crazy, but it helped so much, because if you know who's sitting in the crowd as well, you can network with these people a lot better afterwards. If you just sit there anonymously and just hide from everyone, the conference won't bring anything to you but the talks, which is maybe 50%.
Who would not that we do it now? But that at the beginning of each event, that we have an introductory round at this event. Please be honest. I will do it if the majority wants it. I will not do it if nobody wants it.
So now, who is in favor?
Who's in favor of an introductory round at the beginning of the Pirate Skills meetup?
People are so shy.
Too many people.
We did it with 80
All right.
people. It takes maybe 15 minutes, but then you know who's sitting next to you. Maybe you know right now. But it helps a lot.
I'm always surprised who's sitting here. Like the ex-boss of Chef Koch was here. Daniel Menini from Social Sweethearts with 2 billion page views per month is here regularly. And getting to know the people is amazing. And who is the rock star that I should know?
Me.
Ron, what are you doing?
I'm a film producer. I like commercial films.
What did you do?
What do you mean?
What a project that we might know?
I do a lot of commercials, like for beauty care, like Schwarzkopf, and
Okay.
work with testimonials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe
Nice
you know
one, please.
Schwarzkopf is this hair.
Yeah, I know. I don't
The
do
hair.
that. I
He
don't do
doesn't look
that.
like that, but he knows. Yeah. The cool thing is, as well, is not only the audience knows who is sitting next to them, but you, as an organizer, know maybe a future sponsor who's sitting there from a big company, and you didn't go through all the attendees, and some of them also buy a ticket with their private email address, so you only have the name at gmail.com, and you don't know that he's the CEO of Schwarzkopf or Henkel or something like that. Maybe you should know. Yeah. Yeah, but this is also cool if you know who's sitting there as an organizer. Also a big learning, not only lectures. You should do interviews on stage, like fireside chats between a moderator and a cool keynote speaker. A panel discussion, which is also a little like more interactive than most of the lectures, usually. And you need a good moderator, definitely. You need someone who is in the topic, but not too much, because we had some panel discussions with a moderator who was talking himself only. He didn't let the other people talk because he was so into the topic and he wanted to share all of his thoughts. That was not the point of a panel discussion. And you should have pauses between the blocks, so you don't organize only one lunch break, but you should have a break in the morning and a break in the afternoon, because this is the thing we get the most positive feedback to the conferences at Startplatz, that we have enough time outside of this room to connect, to get to know people and to just talk. And also, which sucks a lot in my opinion, if you have the speakers here, you should really tell them that they shouldn't go immediately after their talk, which I will do today, actually. I'm sorry about that. We have our internal Christmas party and I'm here.
You already missed like the first hour of your Christmas party.
The first 3 hours, but it's okay. Never mind.
Thanks, girl.
It was very important for me to be here today. So, if you have the speakers, please tell them somehow that maybe they stay for the break, then they can leave, so people can talk with them. Yeah, Maxime.
When you have different categories of talks and things like this, you say it's good to mix and everything. From your experience, how do you know the feedback from this session was really good, we should do more of this next time or less of this? How do you know individually what really was the high time of your event?
So most of the time we send a feedback form out after the event and ask especially like, what did you like?
Okay.
But actually most of the people come immediately to me and say, this was cool.
Okay.
Or this was not so cool. This guy you shouldn't invite anymore. This girl, please don't invite her anymore. We had that. Yeah. And I'm a person, I'm just asking people I know who were sitting there. I'm going to them afterwards and ask, like, what did you like? What didn't you like? Yeah, feedback is very important. It's not on my slides, actually. Get together afterwards, very important. We usually have a barbecue after our conferences, which is very cool because not only the attendees of the conference take part, but also our normal members here at Startplatz, and the crowd gets mixed again, and it's very nice.
We booked a table at Kandinsky for after this event. By the way, it's just the bar downstairs. Yeah? So if you want to hang around, grab a coach. Usually first round is on me.
Usually, not today.
I want people to come for the beer. I want them to come for the company.
Yeah. The sponsors. If you have €0 budget, you maybe should look for sponsors, because then it's difficult to organize something, because usually you have to pay for food and maybe some tech stuff, maybe some moderator or marketing. So you should have some sponsors there. Again, where to look for them? Your own network, research through lineups of similar conferences and articles about the topic. It's the same. If you see that company X also supported conference on Internet of Things last year in Darmstadt, they may be interested in supporting you as well. Just ask. This is, again, how to choose. This is important. Choose wisely, because you should have sponsors who fit. If you have an, I don't know, e-health event and you only have a Wirtschaftsprüfung, Gesellschaft and a Rechtsanwaltskanzlei, like a law company and a tax company with you, it's okay, they have the money, they can pay you, but it doesn't really fit. It looks like, yeah, we just took the sponsors we got. It's cooler if you have sponsors who fit somehow. So for the conferences here at Startplatz, it was quite easy because like the topics are big and there are the big companies who support them, who everyone knows. For my festival, I was looking for sponsors. It didn't went out too well this time, maybe next year. But I was thinking about, I have light installations, I have sound installations, so maybe I talk to Osram, the light bulb company, because we have light installations, and this could be interesting. Also, I talked to Audi. They almost did it, but then again not. But I thought about an audio-visuelle Installation. Audio, yeah. I almost sold it, but they didn't have the budget.
Brilliant.
It's almost brilliant. And you shouldn't not only go for the big ones. It's cool if you have big names. Some of the people only come to conferences when they see the sponsors are Mercedes, I don't know, someone else and someone else. Big, they know. It's cool to have small sponsors because they are usually more into marketing your event. So the big ones say like, of course we help you, we will do a Facebook post. No one sees that. If you have some small sponsors, they are really much into supporting you, more than the big ones. So if you have some small ones, they put you in the newsletter and stuff like that. How to invite them? This is the same. This is something people ask me, you just tell them how much you need? I did that most of the time and it worked out pretty well. Because it takes so long to do this. How much you need? I don't know. How much would you give? I don't know. How much you need? I don't know. How much. This is bullshit. It just takes so much time. No one needs this. So just say, we have the sponsorship about 1,000 euros for the catering. Are you in or not? Either they say, cool, or they say, 1,000 not, but maybe 700 will be okay. And you say, yeah, sure. And that's fine. Don't be shy again. Yeah.
The best sponsor break I've seen is from Pirate Summit. Have you seen it? Like they have this PDF that you can send around to sponsors, and they have like certain levels of sponsorship, and you can be like the brewmaster. Yeah. And then you get your brand name on the beer cups and or the bottles and stuff like that. So think about that. And that's why
if you have this possibility, that's amazing.
That was pretty cool.
If you don't only have the platinum, gold, silver package.
Yeah.
It's cool if you
give them
like names. Yeah.
I want the live stream sponsor. Guys, I'm looking at you. Is it still running, Alex?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Vicky, I have a question.
No pressure. Yes, Ollie.
Yeah, I'm really late. I'm still stuck on the introductory round when you have to decide what I'm
It's okay. You're a little bit older than me. It's okay.
Because some people really hate that. I hate that.
I know.
Why don't you just say, hey, who would like to introduce themselves? And then you skip the ones that don't.
And then
everyone's going to be your friend.
You think so?
It's a fucking brilliant.
Don't sponsor anyone for something you don't like. Because it might happen that the conference really sticks in their head as a shit event just because they were embarrassed.
Never the case.
In front of everyone, even though they don't like
We at my conferences, there are a lot of these introverted, more tech guys who don't like to be in the center of the, how you call it? Attention, thank you. And they did it, and they found it cool because they thought, okay, I was looking for a job, and right next to me sits a guy from the company I would like to work with. So there are a lot of...
Who hates intro rounds? 1, 2. It's reasonable, Ollie. I think I'm one of them.
But you're a cool guy.
Well,
I don't know why you hate
it. I have a good story to tell. He's the owner of the Wertheim.
Yeah, we introduce you. This is cool. I don't want to introduce myself.
Fucking
don't introduce me.
Yeah, see how shy he is. We can grab a beer later.
Yeah. Speaking of beer, food and drinks.
Yeah.
This is something you should waste some time on to choose food and drinks because...
You gotta thank Snea for those.
Yeah, thank you. It's very important to have enough food at your event because no matter how cool the conference was, like content-wise, if there was not enough food, it was a shitty conference. Well, it was okay, but they hadn't enough food and I was hungry all the day and I was hangry. Maybe this is something very difficult. I'm getting hangry at myself.
Hangry?
Yeah, if you're getting angry because you're hungry.
Hangry.
Hangry, yeah. You don't know this food, I'm sorry. Yeah, see?
Women especially.
No. I know a lot of men who get hangry. So have enough food. It doesn't have to be fancy food.
It has to be. I remember all the shitty events where there was shitty food.
Yeah, here? No.
It is because it is.
What do you mean by shitty food?
Like it's shitty food if it's shitty food. So
Okay, next time Mano
it
cooks.
it doesn't need to cost a lot. That's something different.
Yeah.
Than try to make sushi, but shitty sushi, which costs a lot. Make it better, good sandwiches or whatever.
Exactly, that was my point.
Okay,
so
sorry.
it should be good food and tasty, of course, but it doesn't have to be the canapé, which costs €5 each. This portion, you know, it's cool to have it on your buffet, but it's no impact on the conference. It's better if there's enough and people are not starving afterwards after they ate one piece of it. Take startups aboard. There are a lot of startups in the food scene who would like to present their stuff at conferences.
God, your ideas are good.
So just all the drinks. There are a lot of drink startups right now. I have the impression. I don't know.
Chris? He always brings nice new drinks.
See? Have a Chris in your team. He brings the drinks. Gadgets, name tags. This is quite easy because it's cool if you have these name tags with like the logo and stuff like that. You can do it like this, which is I think a very good solution, so you have the logo, but people can write their names themselves, really. You don't have to print all these because this is pain in the ass to prepare that for a conference. And if you have €0 budget, you shouldn't waste money on that. Just buy these tags and people write their names, it's okay, completely fine. It's always nice to have a little present for the speakers. It doesn't have to be too fancy. No pressure. But it's nice to give something to them. It doesn't have to be the most expensive bottle of wine, but something maybe in connection to the conference theme
Even
or something.
for an event like this, or is this like...
I would appreciate that, yes. But it doesn't have
Can you put it on the list?
It doesn't have to be, no. Maybe even presents for the audience. This we have today. We have some chocolate for the audience. This is always nice if you have something they can take with them, which is maybe helpful in a way. It doesn't have to be the, 3,542nd Schlüsselband or something like that, or something needless. I don't know.
The slides.
But the slides, of course. The slides are cool. Yeah. But maybe something physical as well. You can print them out. Tools. Ben will talk about it a lot better than me, but my tools are assorted in my mailbox, which is very helpful. If you don't delete everything, I appreciate this workflow to just keep the mails so you can look up all the people you get to know. Trello is a cool thing, MailChimp is a cool thing, Eventbrite is a cool thing. But there are also platforms like Rausgegangen or Wunderfest. Tim will talk about it later, which is super cool. I really, really appreciate this, especially for my art festival. That was amazing to work with them. That was just super nice because we had 300 people actually at my art festival. I don't know how that happened. I didn't know the guys who were there. I was looking for my mom. She wasn't there, but random people showed up. Startplatz is a very good platform to do events. For all of you who are maybe planning to do a meetup, all people who do meetups get our rooms for free. So you don't have to pay for the room. There are some costs, maybe, depends on when you organize it, but you don't have to pay for the room. And we have a huge network and we have a good marketing channel or different of them, and you should maybe get in touch with Startplatz as well. And Meetup, of course, is also a very nice platform to reach a lot of people. Main thing is, if you organize a conference, talk about it. Go to stages, talk about it, talk to people, tell your friends that you're organizing, because at least one friend of a friend is into the topic, maybe, and will show up. My personal learnings, like the psychological ones, maybe, talk to people. Just go to people and talk to them. Go to conferences yourself, go to meetups and talk to people. Remember the people you've met. Maybe this is hard for some of you, I don't know. For me it's not so hard because I remember faces and names quite well. But this is very, very cool. Maybe write down who you met and then you can connect on LinkedIn, Xing or Facebook or somewhere so you know who was where. pay attention. If you're going to an event and just sit there and watch from behind and don't interact and don't pay attention to the people who are standing on stage and talking to you, that's not cool and you don't get anything of the event. So pay attention when you talk to people or even if you sit in the audience. Stay in contact with people. Not with everyone, of course. This is maybe a lot of work to do. But if you feel that this person you got to know is maybe helpful or you can help this person with something, just stay in contact. Write through Facebook, like their stuff when they post something. Just tell them that you're interested in the topic they do. As Ben already said, do favors. It's so easy and it's so rewarding because my festival, I had €0 budget and I didn't pay anything. I just asked friends and friends of friends if they can help me, and somehow they helped me, maybe because I did favors to them before. I guess so. Give, ask. This is something the pirates do at the conferences. You shouldn't only ask for help, you should first give a lot. Tell people, give them feedback. That's enough, maybe. But try to show that you're interested and they would like to help them. And then you can ask and they will do a favor in reward. Don't be shy. I told you twice. This is super helpful. Just ask people. And it's so easy because no one is mad if you ask them for help or money. The worst thing they can do or say is no. And then you go to another person and ask them. So just don't be shy. Talk straight, again, with the money maybe. And the most important thing, say thank you. Say thank you after you organized a conference. Write a mail to the speakers that you were cool with them, that you were thankful that they've been there. Write a mail to the audience, say thank you. Just be thankful and tell the people that. Yeah, that was it from my side. Ben put my Twitter account there. I'm not very active on Twitter, but you can add me. Maybe I get active then. If you have interest in cooperate or just meet and do an art festival with me, you can write me an email or add me on LinkedIn. This is cooler than Twitter for me right now.
Cool.
That was it from my side.
Oh, nice. Thanks so much. Do you guys have any questions for Victoria? Yeah, because she got to leave for a Christmas party.
I missed why to have 3 hashtags.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because usually it's like they have one real hashtag, the second one is also something important, and the third one is something cool like FC Köln or something like that.
Okay.
And that freshens up the...
Hashtag no filter.
Your question.
Exactly. Gute Laune. Yeah.
How do you use Trello? What is it?
Trello is a project management tool. You can use it on a free basis, and it's very easy to handle. You don't have to have any skills to use it. I don't know, will we talk about it later? About Trello?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe you can show them one board or something. You can organize boards, you have cards you're putting your information into, and then you can organize it the way you like. So you can do like sponsors, speakers, to-do list, I don't know, or done. And then when you're done with one card, you put it. It's hard to explain like that, but maybe you show it later.
Show it later or after the event. Manu.
Can you tell me something about the handling of the sponsors after the event? Do you talk to them? Do you write them something? Do you send them a bill, or how does it work? So
handling of the sponsors is the question. Okay.
Yeah. First, say thank you. Write in an email, and usually people are interested to get the slides of when the sponsor was also a speaker, or just the sponsor, both. So if the sponsor was also a speaker, it's nice to get the slides, say thank you. Usually when there were speakers, they not only get a bill, but sure, if you had a sponsor who paid for the catering or something, you just sent the bill with a thank you letter. Actually, this is something I never did, the bill sending, because at Stadtplatz this does my colleague, and for my festival I didn't have income.
You don't get the money up front. So
sometimes it very depends on how big the company is. If it's very big, you will get the money a lot later.
Yep. definitely.
Like 6 months later, maybe.
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also don't be shy. Like for our festival, we actually get the money always up front. So if you ask for it, you get it, the money now for the festival in May.
Yeah.
So if you communicate, you want it in front, that's fine for most sponsors. If you tell them that you want it in front, it's fine for most.
Yeah, just tell them like the expenses also up front.
Yeah.
If they can give me the money up front.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I forgot one very important thing. I will just add
One
it
more
quickly.
thing.
You should do photos and videos of your event. And I really can recommend Manor because he does the pictures of the conferences at Startplatz here, and he also does very nice portraits of people and makes them good looking even more. So you should definitely take photos, and video is also very cool because if you have this stuff, you can convince people to come and to get sponsors for the next time.
Yeah.
If you can show them how cool it was.
Now, go to your Christmas party.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It was very nice to be with you, and I'm very sorry that I have to leave. Contact me.
Grab your beer later. Thanks,
Yeah,
Victoria.
thank you.
So maybe we can open a window for a second. Let's get into the second part. I would like to be drinking downstairs at 9 at the latest, yeah? So you know. All right. Those were great concrete insights. But Tim, if you might want to come up to the front, he can really share some special stuff. The special sauce that goes into events. So let's switch to his slides. All right, so we never take breaks here. Like, this is for the tough crowd. I hate breaks like mad. Okay, could you guys shut up over there in the front left? Guys, shut up. Thanks. I got to be nice to my folks, yeah. Once in a while. Tim.
Yes.
Would you like to join me on the stage?
Yes.
So what are you going to talk about today?
I try to focus on marketing actually, which is funny
Thanks.
because I'm going to talk about secret events and festivals. Festivals in terms of like we have a small festival around 2,000 people, so it's not a Peruka, but still it has been in the second year now. It's going to be in the third year in 2019, and we have some secret events, and it's actually quite interesting how you market secret events and how you market festivals, and yeah, I hope to share some insights. I'll try to.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Tim.
Yeah, again, in order to understand a bit more who I am and where I come from, I'll do a quick timeline of the activities of the company. I founded with a few friends. Or maybe regarding myself, I actually always did some events. Like I played in several bands when I was young, when I was a kid, and always did some concerts or conferences when I was at university. So I always liked events and the cultural stuff. Then we started Rausgang in 2015, and actually started with an email to 30 people, some friends. We sent it out and said, okay, these are the 4 coolest things you could do today in Cologne. Sometimes it was like a poetry slam, bands, a party, some sport, maybe a coffee or a brunch idea, depending on the day. And this was an email to 30 people, and people replied, hey, that's really cool. I want to get that email every day. And it was an absolute side project and became quite big. Today we're one of the biggest, we call it kind of event influencers in Germany, and probably the biggest in Cologne. We have alone here in Cologne, it's more than 90,000 likes, and we have an app, we have a website, we have a newsletter, obviously. We reach more than like a few 10,000 people every day. Victoria talked about us as well, as we had a cooperation for their art festival, because that perfectly fits actually in our target group. That's the app, that's Facebook page, that's the website. And when you scan, and what we do actually is we scan the event market every single day. Because in order to choose the coolest event every day, you first need to see all the events every day. And you come across so many artists, you come across so many really cool locations that you sometimes think, okay, I need to do something else with that knowledge. And I'll like show a few of these, like Salonwagen sessions. What we do here. How many of you know? Okay, I can't even say it because it's a secret location in Ehrenfeld. Actually, it's like a hall that is occupied by artists. It's really, really cool. And there's this one place where we do for 7 people a concert every month, always on the 7th for €7. And what we do is actually you need to go on our website and you need to solve a riddle. And all the right answers get into a top, and we pick 7 winners, and then they get a link and they buy actually a ticket where they will see the location and get there. And then it's crazy because they don't know the location, they don't know the act, and they actually don't know the other people around them. And it's always like they come there, they're very shy, and then they interact with each other, and it's always like an incredible evening. And we saw that location actually, and we thought, okay, we need to do something here. But that's one of our secret events. Something else we thought is when we saw like all the really cool artists that are often not very well marketed, we thought, okay, how cool would it be to get them all on one day in one place and actually give them not just like a virtual stage or a digital stage, which we do every day at Rausgegangen, but actually to give them a real stage, to show the guys, okay, these are the coolest things we actually discover all year round. And that's why we started our festival in 2016 with around 400 people. It was in Mülheim, and well, I never did a festival before and completely underestimated basically everything from marketing to like we also did the gastro ourselves. Like yeah, it was like actually I didn't sleep for the whole week basically, and I think it went actually really cool. Like because nobody actually noticed what a mess we had behind the scenes, but like the festival actually was really a success. The people really liked it, and I'll come back to that later in 2017 because we continued. One other thing we started, and that's maybe important because this has a lot to do with marketing. One of the reasons I think, or I'm pretty sure why Rausgegangen was successful is that we not just started that email newsletter and then said, okay, let's try to grow organically, we took some money and did a lot of online marketing, or especially Facebook marketing actually. And as I said, like we then grew to 90,000 likes, and other event organizers asked us, because we were so much in contact, how did you do it? And we said, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good product, but we also did a lot of online marketing. And they asked us, okay, I'm really good in actually creating the experience, but I'm not very good actually in doing that Facebook marketing. And we started doing that for event organizers, and that's basically what we call then Wunderfest. We made a really separate product out of it, and we started that last year in October, November, and it has been live since February. That's maybe good background knowledge. Then we did a crowdfunding, and that's very interesting because because I said before, okay, you always need an idea, and sometimes you get forced to get ideas, because we did a crowdfunding for a project like Rausgegangen. It's not very easy because Rausgegangen doesn't cost €1, so it's a free app. So where do we want to get money for? Like usually when you do crowdfunding, and I know a Kickstarter, you have a physical product, and people can pre-buy that physical product, and there you get the money from. That's not possible for us. So we did different Dankeschöns. For example, like our 84-hour Cologne guide, and one of the Dankeschöns was, yeah, maybe let's start secret concerts. We know a lot of artists, we know a lot of locations, and it sounds cool. And very interesting, the secret concerts were the absolute bestseller at that crowdfunding project. It was successful, and then in January we were sitting there and thought, okay, secret concert. How do we do it? Because actually secret concerts are a bit. It's not that easy as it sounds, because you need a location. that is secret, so not the typical the ones that we actually have in our tips, because they are all official ones. And you also need, usually these are places where you don't have like the usual technical equipment and everything, but it all worked out. I'll come back to that later. But I think it's interesting to know how things start. Sometimes it just happens, sometimes you just need an idea, and then that event starts. And then we started our second festival with almost 2,000 people. We'll do that in 2018 now with more than 2,000 people. So we grew from 400 to 2,000, which was something I learning now would not really recommend. Because that step was probably too big. In order, like, we really had to push a lot in more. Like this was not organically at all. Probably organically would have grown to 1,200 maybe, or 1,000. But that step is huge. However, there's a business plan behind it, and in order to actually make a festival somehow cash flow positive, you need a certain size. If you want to have if you want to have a certain booking size, I would say, certain bookings, certain technical equipment, and we have that size now, but it actually took some time. So that's a background. I quickly would like to go through the learnings. First, I answer a question.
Yes, I wonder, like the secret concerts, what did you do regarding the legal terms? Because we used to organize like illegal warehouse rave parties.
Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I wonder, like, did you sell drinks, or what did you do regarding insurance stuff and shit like this?
Well,
we cannot talk about this.
Well, maybe we do that after the live stream. Yeah, maybe actually, yeah. Let's maybe downstairs at when we have the beer.
The one with the secret location is only 7 people, correct?
No, that was the Langwagen sessions, and the secret concerts. Actually, that's something like. Let me tell you about like how many people like that. That I will come to that later. First of all, learnings. Like the first thing about learnings is that you should ask for learnings. That's something Victoria said also before. We sent a questionnaire to all the ticket buyers of our festival, because we only had the email addresses from, which is also learning, maybe get all the email addresses, but we only had the email addresses from the ticket buyers, which was below 1,000 people. But we had a response rate of 25%. So if you have an event which actually people have some emotional connection with, they will actually really tell you what was good, what was bad, what you should take care of, and everything. But what I want to tell you now, so that's the first thing. Maybe really do it, because often I never get these emails. Another thing I actually learned, which makes everything so much easier, is get your own crowd, and I think that's the only reason why we could basically from 0 to 2,000 get in not a lot of time and with not a lot of budget. Is we asked the guys, like, how did you know about the festival, like our festival? And 42%, I think you can't read it, right? 42% said through rausgegangen, and 13.4% said through Facebook, and 32.1% through friends. So more than 75% through rausgegangen and friends, which is an incredible amount of time, because these people are actually our own, that's our own network, and these people, we do not need to spend a penny on. So that's just something, if you want to grow, get your own crowd that believes in what you're actually saying. That makes everything so much more easier. A crowd can be as large as 3 people, actually, as long as they are a crowd. Like our Geheimkonzerteverteiler, our secret event emailing list. I mean, there at the beginning, I think it contained like 200 people, which is really not a lot. And these are the opening rates, and these are the click rates. I think you still, the opening rates here are between 55 and 75%. Like, does anybody like? This is actually incredibly high in my opinion. And we have click rates from here. We didn't have any links from 35, and the usual we send the second email. But the usual one is like around 22 to 23% click rate. Which I don't know when you can say maybe something about that, but
I think my biggest email list is like 250,000 people, and I have a 2% click-through rate.
Yeah. So
I would rather have the smallest with the high click-through rate.
Yeah. So just like it doesn't size doesn't matter at that time. Here it's really if you have a small group that really believes and is really interested in what you're doing, that's way more valuable because you know exactly what to do and. You can actually plan very well. So we know kind of exactly how many people are from that email list would come to our concerts. So we can plan exactly the capacity. We know exactly like what kind of people are these, what kind of artists do we need, and when can we deliver it. And that's, I mean, you still can't see it, but we basically just say like tomorrow is a secret concert actually. We basically ask it's going to be at that date, at that time, and if you're quick, you maybe get a ticket. And the first secret events, they have been sold out within an hour. From there we actually grew. So the first one was maybe for 80 people. In the summer we had one open air one with more than 200 people. If that asked, no, you asked that question. Does it answer the question like with how many people we do it? Yeah, but that always depends on the location. So I think it would be very good to do one now maybe with 60 people again. So it's going to be sold out within half an hour again, just to send the signal out again. You need to be quick. Something else we do, I mean, we always look how many people are in an emailing list. That's what we did with Zusammenleuchten, that's the festival 2018. We said, okay, for the old people that has been there, we'll send, we have 150 tickets. They're not going to last long. You get a special price, buy them or not. These 150 tickets without having any lineup, not even communicating the location, they were gone within 60 hours. That's also something, yeah, just know how many you probably want to sell and then get it out. Something else we see or we saw is when we do campaigns, especially on Facebook, don't ask for the sale, ask for the signal. So first inform the people, like do videos, do campaigns for your event, and only do we only usually do click campaigns to the ticket page for the people that already kind of interacted with something. So we know they are pre-qualified. So we first ask for the signal that they're interested and then try to make the sale. Again, we are only releasing when we have the feeling, okay, we are oversubscribed. So the signaling is there, you need to buy now or you don't get a ticket. That's actually how we do the marketing. And for us, that's the best way of actually market, because you get the feeling, if you don't buy now, you probably miss something. And in order to keep it that way, the delivery at the end of the day is probably one of the best marketings you could actually get, is because mouth to mouth at the end of the day is the cheapest advertising. Tomorrow we'll have that secret concert. On the ticket there's a description that you need to go to that kind of house. There will be 2 people in a cylinder which check your ticket, and then we'll wait for the others, and then they will lead you with a laterne, to that special place, and they will get actually free drinks, and that kind of experience, that's something like we want them to tell their friends. That's just like the crazy thing they actually did. Maybe not this year, but maybe this month or whatever. We always try to treat our clients like we want them to tell about us. And like, might it be that like in our app, they not only get the best ideas to what to do, but they always get better conditions. At the festival, they get different gadgets. We gave them like graffiti walls where they did graffiti. Like we gave them lamps, so we did the Zusammenleuchten. Well, actually, we had a tattoo guy there where you could actually buy a tattoo, or you get a rausgegangen tattoo for free. So we actually have 30. No, you're laughing. We have 30 people out there with a tattoo from rausgegangen, which is actually walking advertising.
I'm going to start selling the red crosses as tattoos.
Yeah. You have to do it for free. At these events.
He always has to sit on this chair and he's getting tattoos or like watching.
But actually, like this, like high quality delivery is, I think, the most important thing at all. We have a no-show rate below 5% for our events when tickets have been bought, which is, I think, because people really want to be there, and that's also why we hope it's gonna also in the future sell out very quickly. And at the end of the day, also for events, you have a customer lifetime value. I think that is a KPI we use usually for digital stuff, where you buy somebody for your online store and hope you'll buy a few more times. But you also have that KPI, I think, for events, because people are always come. Like you just asked, like who has been here for 3 or 5 times? That's your customer. Like yeah, that's very important for us as well.
My customer lifetime value is 0.
Yeah, that's but you have a customer lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah. I brought actually 4 tickets for the secret show tomorrow. So if you would like to come, it costs 12 euros each. Please send a mail to tim@rausgegangen.de. You have got 5 minutes, so please do it now if you would like to come.
The phone was already kicking in.
Yeah.
When does it start?
It starts in the evening, around 7.
Evening is relative. What?
In around 7. Yeah. So if you want to come, just send me an email. I'll choose the winner later. Quick list of tools we use. You talk about that later.
No,
more detail. But
it's a good list.
Yeah. So what we started actually recently, and like the head of the festival, Corinna, she actually loves Basecamp. It's not for free. It costs 99 euros. It's basically a combination between Slack and Trello. We will talk about Trello later. So it has a chat, internal chat, and it's basically a to-do list for your team. I'm still with Trello and Slack, but she loves it, so there must be a reason. We have.
I feel the same. I use both.
We have our own ticketing system. And something which is really motivating is like we use Zapier, and if this then no, yeah, FTTT. Then yeah, for all kinds of combinations of basically software.
What's your craziest step? Come on, like the 12-step zap that everybody of us has.
Wow, not even sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, I wouldn't think about that. But one thing that is very motivating is like we push all our ticket sales to Slack. So we actually have a Slack channel with all our ticket sales, and it's so motivating actually to come into the company in the morning and see, okay, 12 sales overnight. It just makes you very happy. So one thing we also do, which is actually not very easy, is we try to do CPO tracking for our Facebook campaigns, so cost per order. What you basically do is you have a little, you have a pixel, and you put it in the different events in your website. Ingmar, he's actually the head of Wunderfest. I talked about before. He's sitting there. If you have questions regarding the details, he's your man. One thing that is very, and that's a question actually for you guys, which I found very difficult, is the following. Because we not only do our own events, we do like quite a lot of events, and there's for like we only have one Facebook pixel basically. So if we do 5 festivals that are more or less the same, maybe different dates, it is very difficult to actually know from what kind of campaign the buy is coming from. Maybe I'm campaigning your festival, but the pixel is also in your website, and actually you have never seen the website but know it through a friend, but saw my campaign, like saw my ad for your festival, and you bought at your website, then yeah, my tracking is basically like that makes it sometimes very, very difficult to track, especially for us as we have a tool and try to track it for all these events. We try to get closer with UTM tracking, but yeah. Anyway, what we do a lot is retargeting. I said that before. So to all the people that has been on the website, didn't buy a ticket, to all the people interacting with us, we do retargeting, Google Analytics. We use, obviously, interesting case. We had one event in the Pampa, and we thought like the band was actually from Cologne, but they grew all up in Stuttgart. And the and we actually tried to target in Cologne, but then we saw that the ticket sales are actually all from Stuttgart, because they really still had a crowd there because they were a school band over there. And yeah, then we completely changed that. I mean, MailChimp, probably everybody knows, that's the mailing tool we use. For questionnaires, like the one I showed before, we just use Google Forms. Xing and LinkedIn we use for our clients for Wunderfest, not for our own events. It doesn't really make sense. It's quite expensive, and it makes sense for business events. Or it can make, if it's okay if you have a high cost per order. And same with AdWords. For our own events, we never used AdWords because we just don't have the lineup for it. So, I mean, AdWords is for search, and if you have a new festival, nobody is looking for you. So you need platforms like Facebook, where you can work more with inspiration. Yeah, I think my time is up now. Quick one here. Just checking if I got any emails actually. Yeah, I got some. So because I think the biggest difference is I also have 2 tickets for a cool concert tomorrow. So so if you would like, you can also buy these 2 tickets for 12 euros from me. Just raise your hands. Who's free tomorrow? You can. So 2. Okay. So it's a cool concert. Just let me know. But what I actually wanted to show you is yeah, it's going to be somewhere in Cologne. But what I would like to show you is basically like the huge difference you have between secret concerts somewhere, whatever, and it could be exactly the same artist, or it's actually a secret concert and you have the feeling, okay, I'm part of something really special. And that's just way easier to market. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, do you have any questions right now for Tim?
Yes. Tim, you're also like a PR company for events, because you post like events of other people.
I mean, Rausgegangen is basically free PR for every cool event in Cologne.
Okay.
Because what we do is we try to figure out, okay, what are the coolest events? We pick them and then we post them.
Okay.
But it's yeah, I mean, it's basically like an online newspaper. So we do not PR, we are PR.
Here's the thing. I got featured by you 2 times in the Rausgegangen Bonn, and it was great. So how do I get it? Like, is it like possible to get it like?
Yeah. What do you? I mean, to get in there. Yeah. I mean, there's like we always pick from our the team is picking the tips, and you can't buy yourself into the tips, and then we do for corporations with events we think that are cool. Like we speak up front, and then we think about, okay, what kind of campaign we could do for you, and then we can talk.
Cool. And he comes up with really cool ideas. I asked him to do an event for an AXA startup, and they're really super pumped by the ideas they have come up with. So I can hardly recommend Tim and his company. Thank you very much, man. So I'm getting thirsty. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to keep this short. So you have been to this meetup thing a few times. Meetup is a weird thing at this time right now because like the word meetup is not that known in the public as we think it is, maybe as the tech startup people. Yeah, when I talk to normal people about I have a meetup, they don't have a clue what a meetup is. Yeah, so if you say like it's a free event where interested people come together. That's what they get. Yeah. So to me, the idea of meetup was always like to build a community of people that want to improve their skills in something. Yeah, I used to go to the growth, to the Hacker News meetup. I went to the UX meetup when I was thinking about when I was trying to learn more about UX. I went to the R user meetup, which is amazing here in Cologne. It's a statistics programming language, yeah, which I'm into. And so they're absolutely obscure meetups, and you can check them out, most of them on meetup.com. And there you can explore what kind of special interest groups they are. And maybe if you have a special interest that you would like to get to know more people on, you can start your own meetup in your own niche. If you have a business with a certain offer, yeah, and there is no meetup in that niche, it is, I think, hands down, if you're local, by far the best bang for the buck marketing channel you can build. If you don't need to be like super scaling, I need to make 10 millions, 20 millions a year. Yeah. So since you have already been here and heard a lot, I just wanted to give you something that you can actually download. Yeah, Snea and I have been building on this piece since, I don't know, Snea, since when did you start the checklist? Like 7 months? So this is the holy grail, yeah, of our knowledge of when to do what. We have a meetup every month, yeah, and if you have a business, I can highly encourage you to have this monthly cycle. Some people think it's too much. Like, this is the lowest attendance meetup in a long while. We are now like 40-ish people. Yeah, usually we are twice that. I think it's a December thing. Mm-hmm. But just for this curious growth marketing thing that I thought was a total niche thing, we guys nerding out on KPIs with 12 people. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Yeah. So we built this system to keep people in the loop, to make them happy, to keep them engaged. So let's look into what's behind this link. There is a Google Doc behind this link. Let me see if I can get it up and into presentation mode. Nope. Let's pull it somewhere where you can see it. So here we go. So lots of this stuff was said by Victoria, yeah, the broad strokes. But I want to pull your attention to some details. So the Trello board, for example, comes in very nicely in when you want to have like certain stages of the meetup. We think in setup, stuff we have to do once, and then the communication, the campaigns we want to do every week. Yeah, you can see here there's the setup thing, and then there's week -4, -3, -2, stuff like that. Yeah, it's so. And the reason we do this, because it cut our time it took for us to organize an event at least in half. Yeah, lots of people that are trying to do an event are like, oh my god, it's so much work. Yeah, in the beginning when I did this alone, it took me 8 hours per month. 4 hours here while we were here, and 4 hours, like 1 hour every week in campaigning. And so that brought us to the level of about 50 people per event. Then like 7 months ago, Snea joined me, and we needed to bring more control into the insanity. Yeah, and that was the event until then. And every step is now based on the next. In the beginning, yes, you need a topic and a speaker and a date and a location. Those are the basic 4 you need for every event. But it sounds so basic, yeah? But you don't have an event until you have this. There were so many times when Victoria was speaking, I was saying like, dude, this sounds so mundane, but it's so true. Yeah, it's the absolute basics. Then you need an event cover, yeah? This cover goes everywhere. It goes to Eventbrite, it goes to Facebook, it goes to meetup.com, it goes on any ad, on any post. Yeah? So we do this very early. Then we update the Facebook places, the covers, Nea does this. And then one of the few things I have to do is to write a proper summary for the event. Yeah, so there's a good event description. And then we do the Eventbrite event. Why do we do that first? Because we need the Eventbrite ticket link. Yeah? So just get your system right so you don't have to think about it every month. It really doesn't take that much time anymore. And then we create the meetup event and then the Facebook event through the Eventbrite page. This, for example, is very important through the Eventbrite integration, because it gives you this new magical integration between Facebook and Eventbrite where customers never actually need to leave Facebook anymore to get their ticket. They stay on Facebook, they don't go to this ugly ass sales page of Eventbrite. Yeah, the landing page is nice, but everything that happens behind the landing page is fugly on Eventbrite. Yeah, at best. So we never mess this up anymore. Yeah, if we have a chatbot running, we update the bot to inform them about the next event. Then we put the widget on the website parrotskills.com in the right places. There are also like descriptions of those tasks inside this. This is a screenshot or like a print from Asana. We don't use Trello, we use Asana, just another project management tool like Basecamp. Just have this checklist, yeah? And you can just download it from the link I gave you, and I will send it in the thank you email on Friday. Then we have the pictures that we changed. There, the information for the Startplatz newsletter, so everybody is informed. I need to get onto that rausgegangen thingy. That sounds to have worked for you, right? I never thought, I always think it rausgegangen about music events, yeah? Like, never thought about a meetup like ours. Then we start looking for sponsors, we print the posters, we check that we have enough name tags. And we usually invite a non-profit organization which didn't work out this time. But then, this was the setup. We can do all of this 3 months ahead, yeah, until then. But then the actual promotion starts, and I highly encourage thinking in weeks. This view really sucks bad. So, week T-4. So 4 weeks before the event starts, we invite people to the event. We usually do that like in a couple of days after this event. Yeah, we start to invite our friends. Not doing this is a big mistake, but it's so easily forgotten if you don't have a checklist. Then we make the meetup announcement. This is a button that we found out that sends an actual email. We don't want to spam email. We reduced the amounts of email already because we got the feedback that we were sending too many emails. Who got this awful email of death from me that came like 3 times and none of the links were working? I'm glad only 2 people raised hand. Probably Maxime too, and Ollie, I'm sure you got it as well. It's really easy to mess stuff like this up in your email marketing, yeah, and to think about which email goes out on which channel, and only have one going out per week. including the ones that the platforms are sending automatically, is really important to not annoy your customers. Then we do the Facebook group event announcement and the Facebook page announcement. That is the general thing. The general, hey, we got a new event coming up. And then we have the Facebook group. We always have 2 Facebook groups per week where we promote the event. And it's always like there are 8 Facebook groups we can post to, otherwise we will spam too hard. So figure out your 8 Facebook groups that are that cause the most ticket sales. You can rotate them from event to event and just use the affiliate tracking link to see which groups were converting how many people, right? And then you just have this top 8. Then we make the Instagram post, the thing, blah blah blah, and then the next week there's where the routine begins. Now in my personal Facebook profile, I've done this once, I think. Yet I want to do a video where I introduce the event and what's gonna happen about it, because my profile still has much more reach than the page. Pages usually suck at reach, but personal profiles are great. And we start this poll, this question you saw, where we ask people like, can you input your questions and vote on the given questions in the Facebook group. Then we share the poll. Then we do the Eventbrite email, which is super effective. If you do Eventbrite as your ticketing solution, you have the opportunity to invite the people who have been to all your former events, without duplicate email sending. Because they think in contacts, not in emails, like MailChimp. Yes?
Why do I need to make an Eventbrite for a free event?
Because of attendance rates. You have a 5% no-show rate. Before Eventbrite, I had a 40% no-show rate. Okay. Now, I had a 40% show rate. With Eventbrite, I had a 60% show rate.
Okay.
The commitment of Eventbrite is much higher than I said. A yes on Facebook is like a no to me. Like my statistics say, like I can completely ignore meetup.com and Facebook event stats, just focus on ticket sales divided by 2. And that's how many people usually come. And this is where I plan my drinks on, how many seats I want, and sometimes I'm wrong. Like today I underestimated that we could have taken away 20 seats. But Eventbrite has it's more pro, it is more commitment. You got this nice wallet thing, you got the checkout at the front desk. To me it feels just nice and pro. Yes?
When you say ticket sales by 2, that's extreme. How much of the tickets go off for free?
All of them.
All go for free.
No, like you have partners and things where you hand out some tickets.
No.
You don't?
No.
Not at all?
None at all.
And you still plan that half of the people who buy a ticket don't come?
Not buy. This is a free event. We are talking about meetups. Okay. Like it is not necessary to have a ticketing solution for a free event. Why should you? But it helps me so much to keep in touch with the people. Eventbrite is exceedingly awesome at retargeting people. If you do not try to not finish the checkout, it's really funny. You're gonna get emails where you say, oh, you forgot something you check out at Eventbrite, something I could not do at this point with my setup. So then we get the Facebook, we check out that my LinkedIn profile is set up correctly. We have the next 2 Facebook groups. And then we go into week -2. Now we got a special thing. Like we always try to have a topic we surround the email around, and there is the time where we announce the speaker, or if I'm the speaker, we focus more on the content. Then we send out the meetup email number 1. The first one was the click on the announce button. This is the second email on meetup.com. We do this, we remind the speaker of them giving our slides. We now have a policy where I sit with every speaker before the event to make sure that you only get really concrete, actionable stuff. I did that with you, Tim, right? We sat together and I was like, dude, people are pretty advanced in this group and we need to give them stuff that they can actually go home and do. And that's the problem I had when I invited good speakers, which were just self-promoting the shit. Yeah, like the Google Analytics event, my favorite subject. And I gave it to somebody else and I was super pissed because it was just shit. And they were the best analytics company in Cologne. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. So then we have our next events, like, and then it gets hotter. Yeah. 1 week before the event, we sent the intercom email. This is the most personal email I sent. I use intercom like MailChimp or something. Yeah, this is where I have my personal filtered email list. Also the tool that sent out the email of death, but it's super highly recommendable. It combines like chat and in-app messages and emails. It's like my CRM. Yeah, this is where I have the unique people that went to many events. I can see how often they came. I can give them tags and add value to them, give them a sales score, whatever I like. Yeah. And then I send a final reminder, and then I have a list for at the event, my checklist, my pre-event checklist.
Ben, 2 questions.
Yeah, sure.
Do you track Twitter and LinkedIn?
Yes, of course. It sucks. LinkedIn is better than Twitter.
So why do you even do it?
Why do we even do it? Because it's no time investment, and LinkedIn I believe in.
Is it through Zapier or do
for business? Because people if people recommend me, usually those companies check out my LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. And if my LinkedIn stream is dead, and this is so beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't need to have a high reach. It needs to. If I get stalked, yeah, it needs to look. They need to be able to find those events, see people talk, da 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 da. Yeah, that's why I do it. Twitter, I have to think about Twitter. Yeah, I have a strategy I plan. Yes, please.
Have you ever tried a calendar invitation instead of Facebook and social? Just
thinking about it. How do you do it?
No, it's just a question because I usually.
Eventbrite does it for you. Eventbrite does it for you. You get an automatic calendar entry, which is important to me.
But I still have to sign up.
You do have to sign up, that's true. But that's the minimum commitment I expect people who are coming here, which is pretty low. This event is for free. And I think most people can get pretty high value, yeah, out of the people coming here. So I think that's fair. So the most forgotten, the most underestimated part, which Victoria also mentioned, is after the event. This is actually where you can forge real relationships, yeah, and which I would be better about. But what I do every time, for example, is to check Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for the hashtag Pirate Seals. And I follow the people that send something. I share, I reshare the pictures they send, and I start to get in touch with those people. Yeah. And on every Friday, the event is always Wednesday. On every Friday, Sneh and I will sit together, write a thank you email with 3 parts in it: the slide deck, the link to the live stream, and the link to the feedback, form. Yeah. So every time we gather feedback from you people, and I would really highly encourage you, when you get the email on Friday, to please give us the feedback that we need, and downstairs where we grab the beer. But the thank you email is the most important one to me. And just in the PS, we say, by the way, we've got something coming up.
Why did you do it on Friday?
I don't know. I wish I would do it on Wednesday.
For me, for example, if I would think about the event on Friday, then I would really have to think about feedback. And it would be much easier for me if you would send it. I mean, if you could schedule it even, that you can send it out tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, who would prefer tonight compared to Friday? Like the email, or like tomorrow? Tomorrow. All right, Sneh. Yeah. We're gonna work on that. Yeah. Thanks, Nate. Thanks. Yeah.
Do you know how long after Facebook event the people who said they are going to get the notifications from the event? Because I always use that to promote the next event.
Yes, about that. Yeah. I promote the live stream. So during the event, I'm making sure the live stream is set up. Live streams are absolutely over-indexing on reach right now on all social networks. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you use Periscope on Twitter, if that's your channel, or if you use Facebook Live on Facebook, or Hangout on YouTube. Yeah, if you promote those video content. This video content later, for example, to invite people to your page or invite them to the next event, you get like 20x more reach for the same money. Yeah, just because it was a live video. So we do that, and then what people seem to like is that I create a slide deck, like summary slide deck, and publish it on SlideShare and send that to them with a thank you email. That takes some time. This is why I usually do it on Friday, yeah, because I'm usually booked like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, so that is the magic thingy, and let's show you the download link one more time. So at bit.ly pirate-meetup-marketing, you can just grab the Google Doc, just copy it for yourself, download it, make it your own. Make your own thing out of it. Just replace the Facebook group with something else. But this baby just works organically. If you just put, like this time, for example, we just didn't do any Facebook ads because I didn't come around to do it. Because this works so nicely in building this relationship. So today we learned a lot about conferences, creating simple, small conferences, and I'm hope to be doing one myself, like when this baby gets 2 years old, yeah, and about secret events and festivals. This baby, the pirate skills, like I got the weird look, I saw that, and meetup, and about meetups, and I hope we can put the Q&A downstairs. Yeah, if you have any questions that you don't have time for right now, you can just send me a message on Facebook Messenger or on Twitter, or call me. I usually do not take my calls, but I call you back. So yeah, your feedback is very appreciated on the feedback board and at bit.ly/pirateskillslive.
All in lowercase.
All lowercase.
Because it's important.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
And I would like to invite you to join us on January 3rd. I know it's early, but it worked last year like a charm. Like there were 60 people here. I was so proud of the people that in January 3rd are already thinking about how can I grow in 2018. This is where I'm going to share how I'm building the growth strategy for every project I touch. Yeah, how to choose the channels, how to get into the workflow of doing a marketing sprint every week, how to decide what to do, what kind of experiments, and I hope that gives you a good start into 2018. So, thank you all for coming tonight. See you downstairs.